Welcome to the Citizen Channel. We look back at a game at St James's Park. Yes, Newcastle United 0, Manchester City 4 on the 19th of December 2021. A 2 p.m. kickoff. So we'll have a look back at that. It was comfortable in the end, guys. Didn't always look as comfortable in the first half, but we know City will come through, don't we? We just know it'll happen. Yeah, the lineups. I got 8 right. I'll take that, to be honest with you, at the moment, with things as they are. Edison, Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte, Zinchenko, Rodri, Bernardo, KDB, Jesus, Sterling, and Mahrez. Yeah, obviously I had Stones in for Laporte, I had Foden in for Jesus, and I had Grealish in for Sterling. So I'll take 8. Newcastle, yeah, not so much, not quite as good. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4, 5. Yeah, only got 6 in Newcastle. A bit of a change, wasn't it? Dubravka, Murphy, Clark. The Newcastle fans didn't like Clark playing. Lascelles, a lot of Newcastle fans didn't like Lascelles and Clark combination. Richie, Willock, Hayden, Joe Linton, Fraser, Murphy, Almiron were playing. Yeah, and I think that's it. I mean, I'll get all confused, but yeah, Newcastle fans predicting another 7-0 or a 5-0. Didn't quite get there, guys, so he did okay. Who was in charge? Well, referee was Martin Atkinson, of course. Yeah, he was okay. He was all right. It was, as it, VAR, Craig Pawson, it was fine. There's a bit of whinging about a penalty appeal, and obviously the guys in the studio, was it Shay Given and I think Michael Owen said it should have been a penalty. It was only Mr. Hoddle actually said, after he'd had a think, of course, he did say in the first half he thought it was a penalty, that it probably wasn't, but we'll not worry about that. I thought the referee was okay-ish, to be honest with you. Right, the match report. Yeah, we went in at half-time, 2-0 up to the good, didn't we? But for most of that first half, I thought we looked a bit out of sorts. Edison looked as though he was going to have one of those weird, crazy games where he was committing himself and making silly little judgments, which it turned out to be, didn't it? And all credit to Newcastle. I thought they played very, very well, to be honest with you, in that first half. Unlucky not to have been on the score sheet. They made some bad decisions in that final third, I thought. But yeah, I thought they played all right. But they mainly suffered because after 5 minutes, a comical mix-up in defence, a fantastic back ball from Cancelo, who never gave up on a through ball, pulled it back for Diaz to head on quite comfortably, and add to this a Cancelo rocket after running with the ball. And Newcastle players didn't seem to want to tackle him, did they? But a fantastic shot from Cancelo, and that was 2-0 ahead. And for City, with the front three looking a bit weak that first half, to say the least, and not our passing game not quite at it. That 2-0 looked okay, but I say it was thanks to a couple of defenders, wasn't it? That was a problem. A yellow for Bernardo and Rodri, of course, in that half. Rodri looks a bit dodgy today. We'll talk about him in the player ratings. And I thought at half-time Newcastle could remain confident. I did say on Twitter, hope they wouldn't, but Eddie Howe would probably be daft not to bring on Maximin for this second half, the old Maximan, for this second half, because I thought he could get at City. Certainly, if he'd been on in that first half, I think Newcastle might have got a bit more reward than they actually did, because I think he would have caused all sorts of problems with our defence in that sort of form in that first half. And then he did come on, of course he did, but for that first 5 minutes he looked very lively again, but that final ball was letting him down, that first 5 minutes of the second half. And gradually City, at last we finally started to take some sort of control of the game and started to look cool, more calculated than we did in that first half. Everything looked a little bit rushed and unforced errors that first half, especially at the back where Zinchenko was having a nightmare for me. He was awful. He lost possession. He couldn't control the ball. He wasn't very good still in that first half. He did improve like all the team in the second half, but I think we got away with it, didn't we? And of course, once in the 64th minute, a brilliant goal by Mahrez, who hit home. Yeah, that guy, Zinchenko, might have had a rubbish game, but it's a great assist. And of course, the Lino flagged, but VAR overruled him quite rightly. He was a good foot onside, wasn't he? So that was 3-0. Definitely game over at that stage. We can all sort of give out a collective sigh of relief, because as I say, certainly at 2-0, I wasn't overly confident at half time. And of course, we didn't finally finish it till the 86th minute. The great pullback. Again, another player who didn't play particularly well. Jesus didn't play very well at all, but a great run down that left and a pullback for Sterling. And that's why I like to see Sterling coming in from 6 yards out. Even Sterling struggles to miss from that distance. So a great goal. Again, another player who didn't play particularly well. A great goal to make it 4-0. Thoroughly deserved in the end, I think. As I said, I'm not going to go into that silly penalty claim. Edison, again, just doing silly things. We had control of the ball. So I don't see where the penalty would come from, because at the end of the day, he saw his momentum taking through to the player. But it was a foul, but the ball had already gone by then. I'm not too sure what the rules are, to be honest with you, but we'll no doubt see a bit more of that over the next couple of days. Thurner, Stones and Palmer all came on respectively for Roderick, Diaz and Mahrez. The key stats, 5 shots from Newcastle, just 1 on target, 18 from City, just 7 on target. So not the most dynamic performance, but good enough, of course. Possession, City has 73%. Pass completion, Newcastle was quite good, actually, 81%. That's not bad for a team playing City, and 91% for City. 91% possession for the City. The ratings, I think it's Mr. Brennan at the Evening News doing these. Forgive me if it's not, but he has been doing them recently. But they made a bit of an error on their scores, but we'll talk about that in a second. So I'll give you Brennan's ratings. I'm going to start with a 7. 7 as my starting point for City. A good overall performance. You can't really not say it isn't a 4-0. If anyone played worse, they'll get less. If they play better, they'll get more. Right, we'll go on to Edison, an interesting one. Stewart said a crazy rush of blood should have cost him a penalty, but made amends with a terrific late save from Wilson. So he's given him a 6. I'm going to give him a 7. Yes, it was a bit of a rush of blood. A couple of times he came for crosses and he was fouled or didn't quite get them, but I like the way he at least came for them. So I will give him a 7. That save from the header near the end from Wilson was excellent. He will scrape a 7 just for me. Perhaps a little bit lucky to get that. It might have been a 6.5, but I will give him a 7 just about, Edison. Well, it's one of those games, wasn't it, for him? Cancelo refused to give up for the first goal and creamed the second one beautifully. He certainly did. An assist and a goal. 8.5 from me. Stewart, Manchester Evening News, 8 from the Manchester Evening News. Brilliant as ever recently. We can't say too much about Cancelo. He was certainly, without doubt, City's best player on the day on the pitch. Ruben Diaz, the MEN, said we'll never score an easier goal, but he was solid as Newcastle made a fight of it in the first half. He's been given a 7 by them. I'll give him a 7 as well. As I say, Newcastle were fairly lively. We got the rub of the ball, the run of the ball sometimes, where little deflections fell our way and that sort of thing. But it was okay, Diaz. And Laporte, the on-TV News, are not giving him a mark. They've missed him out on their thing. But again, like Diaz, he was solid enough. So no Manchester Evening News mark, but I'll give him a 7. Solid enough. Again, as I said, we did get the run of the ball, and a lot of the times the City midfield were helping out the defence and getting bodies back, which seemed to help. Alex Zinchenko, the MEN, or Stuart, or Simon, but I think it's Stuart, said trouble by enterprising soon in the opening 45 minutes, but delivery for Mahrez's goal was perfect. It certainly was, but that was probably it. That was the only thing he did right. So MEN would give him a 6. I'm only going to give him a 6. I thought it was very poor, and that assist was okay. Don't get me wrong, but I thought it was dreadful most of the game, to be honest with you. So I will give him a 6. So I'm not going to give him any lower, but I'm sorry, you're not going to get anything special for that performance, Alex, even though you did do an assist. Rodri, the MEN, tough first half as Joe Linton ran past him at will. He did. He had a torrid time, and the yellow card as well seemed to affect his attacking game. Well, it would, because he can't foul anyone. Then he'd be off, wouldn't he? And Pep would give him a clip round the ear hole, I think. But the MEN give him a 5. I have given him a 6. I just thought, I'm not going to give him a 5. I just thought it was, again, not at his best today, Rodri. He did struggle against, which we do see him against a livelier players, and obviously we can certainly put Joe Linton down as a livelier player. He did struggle today. He did look a bit out of it, but I'll just give him a 6 anyway. I'm not going to have a total downer on him. Bernardo Silva, the MEN, lovely to watch as usual, even if it was not as influential as normal, and he worked his socks off. Well, he always does. MEN's given him a 7. I'll have to give him a 7. Better second half performance. I remember that near the end where he literally came back and was defending the left back position and took the ball off a Newcastle player's foot in the box. That was fantastic. So I'm going to give him a 7 as well. Although, again, not one of his most effective games. KDB, MEN said quiet first half after midweek heroics. It was, but excellent on the counter in the second. A bit more of the old KDB in that second half. Again, I think all the City players struggled that first half. So MEN's giving 7. I'm going to give him 7.5. I thought it was quietish again, but I said that second half a little bit more like the old KDB, and I did enjoy his second half performance. It was key keen to get that ball up the pitch and looked fit, and that's what we want. We want him firing, don't we, for this second half of the season. We had Mahrez, the MEN said, great finish to a difficult pass it was, which kept a far more threatening second half display. Again, very poor first half, Mahrez, like all three of our forwards, if you like. The MEN's given him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7 just for that goal, because a great, well-taken goal, but he did have an average sort of game, really. Gabriel Jesus back in the sacrificial central striker, said the MEN, or Stewart, whoever it is, role to start, but superbly set up Sterling's goal when switched out like he did. It was the 80th minute. I must admit, it didn't do a lot before that, so I'm going to, MEN give him a 6. I'll give him a 6.5. I'm not going to edge to the 7, even though he got an assist, because I thought he struggled today. I just didn't. He didn't feel right at it for me. Raheem Sterling, the MEN says, still making the odd bad decision. I think he did most of the game. Finally found some end product with his late strike. I have given him a 7. He was nearly a 6.5 because he was pretty ineffective, but he had to be in the right spot to score them goals. That's where I want to see him in future. Just tapping him in the 6-yard box. That'll do for me, but he was pretty ineffective before that. But I will give him a 7, and the MEN give him a 7. I have no marks for the subs. None of them played more than 22 minutes. Fernandinho came on for 68. MEN said ease through the last quarter. He did. John Stones for Diaz came on in 70 minutes. No problem, says the MEN. I can't disagree with that. And Cole Palmer came on for Mahrez at 76. So nearly got a goal, didn't he? But he got stuck in his feet. But that's Cole Palmer. That's what he does. Man of the match, I don't think there's any doubt, is the guy's man of the match. Got to be Cancelo. In my opinion, I don't think anyone got near him on the City side, even in the first half when, as I say, City weren't great. He was stand out, and he was still very, very good in the second half. So he's my man of the match, City man of the match. Let me know what you think, what your man of the match was, and your player ratings as well. So our overall record now at Newcastle, it's one of our weaker grounds for wins. We played 86, just won 20 now, drawn 17 and lost 49. And we've scored 100 goals, so dead on 100, but we let 159 in. Newcastle going forward, they need to sort out that defence. I think that has to be number one priority for the second half of this season. I think if they could sort that defence out, they may have a chance, but they've played more games than the teams above them now, and it's looking very iffy. But if anyone can get out of this mess, it's that team, because I was quite impressed. I was quite impressed from going forward. I thought they looked okay, some nice play, as you'd expect from the home team, buoyed by the fans, although obviously the City fans did very, very well again today. You can imagine the Newcastle fans get behind and they'll be okay, but yeah, they need to sort the defence out. It's as simple as that. I think, all right, it'd be nice for them to get a striker, but they're a bit thin on the ground at the moment, aren't they? I think they're all right going forward. It's just terrible. Sort that defence out, they've got a chance. City weren't great that first half, but obviously Newcastle had chances, but just couldn't figure out what to do in that last in City's third, could they? So some poor decisions. But again, all credit to City for getting men back and getting men behind the ball, etc. So there you go. That's them going forward. Would I say they'll escape relegation at this point? Probably not. But we don't know. There's still over half the season left yet, guys. So I think they've got a couple of tough games coming up, and then they've got a very, very good fixture list in January, but they'll need it because it might not be till the end of January they buy anyone. So who's to say they'll get anything? But it'll be interesting to watch, won't it? City going forward, not the greatest first half display. A bit not at it at all today, guys. I thought it's a little bit cold up in Newcastle, isn't it? Perhaps we didn't fancy it. Too many players not quite at it on the day again. But fortunately, because of some pretty awful defending and our wonder goal, we were 2-0 up at half time, so we take that. I didn't think we'd be as bad second half because I'm sure Pep gave them a rocket at half time, and we were far more efficient, far more collected and collective and cool and collected in that second half. And really, we probably deserved a 4-0 win by the end of it. It perhaps should have been more, but I don't think we ever really got out of second gear. We might have hit third, fourth a couple of times, but yeah, very, very, very a performance within ourselves. And obviously, we get a little break now. The players get a little break, so hopefully, COVID willing, we'll be fit for Boxing Day. Top at Christmas, what more can we ask? Just a couple of things. That was Mahrez's 50th goal, I think, for City. And we broke a couple of records. Of course, we broke the top flight wins record of now 34 in a calendar year, beating the 33 of Liverpool back in 1982. That was some team in 82, great team. We still have 2 games to go, as I said, COVID willing, to actually take that on to 36, hopefully. But that's pretty amazing by City. And, of course, another record, I wasn't aware of this, this till I went on the City site after the game. 18th away win this year in the calendar year, more than any other club in the history of English football. Not just the Premier League, guys, the history of English football. Took it away from Spurs, who managed 17 in the 1960-61 season, and we've still got we've still got an away game, haven't we? We've still got Brentford, still got Brentford away as well, hopefully. So we could go even one more on that. But two great don't win titles. Records don't win titles, but it's nice to have them, isn't it? Anyway, so hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let me know what you thought of the game, and please join me next week, because hopefully we'll look forward to this Leicester game on Boxing Day. Of course, there'll be a history show, an odd show, and a preview show. But obviously, let's keep our ear to the ground on that one, because I believe the Premier League are having a meeting, aren't they, about this? So that might be put on hold, but we'll see, won't we? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. What you're going to do rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the Citizen channel. I only ask one thing off. You don't, please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching.